Hi guys, welcome back to Epic Airsoft HD. A lot of people have been asking about my own personal XCR, so I thought I would bring it out here with the kind of attachments and accessories that I would use out on the field. So pretty much Echo1 XCR, Brian Holt was kind enough to send one of these all the way from the US of A to get my hands on it. So I've done quite a lot of external upgrades, but believe it or not, I've actually not done anything internally other than silly little mods that I generally do to all my guns. We'll start from the back end because that seems to be the most interesting for most people. This is actually the Mad Bull buffer tube that you can put on this. Basically, so you can put any sort of kind of M4 stock that you like or you prefer. So I got this one second hand off from my friend Kenny. He was rocking it on his own XCR. And I've put the tan CTR stock from Magpul PTS on. So it's nice and comfortable, good cheek weld. I really like this stock. I've used it in plenty of M4s that I've owned previously. And it's become a favourite of mine. Obviously, if you haven't seen the CTR stock before, you give it a good grip and you've got many different adjustments. I think 6 different positions, and you can lock it in here using that. So pretty interesting. I'm running Troy backup sights, front and rear. I think they're the kind of nicest looking, to me anyway, personal preference for this. I'm running an Aimpoint Com2 on the top. It's got some tan Krylon spray paint. I like to make my gun sort of rough looking. I don't like that kind of fresh, just out the box look. So to put some like scrapes and scratches on it naturally with field use, I think it looks really good. It looks really cool. It looks like it's been used, and it actually looks like, you know, you've been in the action and actually done something with it. So really neat, and I think it just looks badass. That's exactly what I want it to look like. I rock EMAGs in with the Ranger plates on the bottom. They're really good for pulling out my my plate carrier, much easier than it is, you know, trying to pull just from the base. So they're actually really handy to get a hold of. So if you've got PMags or EMAGs, I highly recommend them if you've got retention type M4 mag pouches. So rock them definitely. These are the Gen 2 ones with the double end window. I've had some problems with a couple of them. The feeder gets jammed away down the bottom if you put too much BBs in. It's really hard to tell as well. You can just that one click with your speed loader, and that's it, done. Really awkward to take apart, but highly recommend them still. As long as you don't fill them up too much and you know how many BBs you're putting in there, you're pretty much sorted. I do normally have these rail covers on. These are just simple GMP ones that I bought. They're really inexpensive, but you keep your rails sort of semi-decent and stop you from like banging them off your gear, off of trees and things like that. But on the other side, I've got a replica Surefire flashlight, scout flashlight. We'll be doing a review of this soon, so stay tuned. We'll get it up there once we actually get batteries that fit it. And I'll be rocking that as well. I've got a bigger flashlight, but it's just no use, too high profile, and it bumps into the suppressor that I've got on it. This is the B&T suppressor that we did a review of before. You can click on that annotation up there, that'll take you to that review. Really cool little flash hider, suppressor. It's quick detach, so it comes off pretty easy. You'll see that through the review there, but it's one of the better looking ones. Mostly I'll take it off because it's just an extra addition because I don't have a barrel extension. A lot of people ask me, no, I don't do that. The inner barrel, a lot of people run this massive inner barrel to the end of the suppressor, but for the difference that it makes, sometimes it can make your gun worse, and there's just no point in spending like 40, 50 pounds on a tight bore barrel that is going to make my gun worse. So I'm happy with the way it is. It's got about 60, 70 meters range. Great rate of fire for a little gun. What I'll do is we'll put an annotation to a couple of Scouts videos where I'm using it. This one's here where I got like a triple kill, sneak up on a couple of guys, 3 guys. So it's pretty cool video. And this one here as well, just me using it in the fort generally. So you get an idea of the rate of fire and range and things like that. So interesting gun. Another question I get asked a lot, where do you put your battery? Well, the gun is actually battered now. I've cleared it. I've made sure that there's no BBs or anything in it. I'm actually going to clear it again just to double check. I'm actually 100% certain, but it's just to kind of, you know, let you guys know that it's safe. I'm going to turn the gun upside down, and I've got an Allen wrench here that takes the barrel off. This is a really cool, neat feature. We didn't do this in the review of the gun, but I can show you now. This is how quick it is. That one 5mm Allen screw actually holds in the whole barrel assembly, and it just slides out like so. So now the gun is completely harmless. It can't do you any harm. So that's the hop unit itself. So you get a couple of Allen screws there. You can take it apart, put your own hop rubber in it. So I've still got the stock one. It's running really well. Some other XCR owners will notice that I've took the gas tube out of there. That's just basically because I was running another battery, and I could put it back on again and it would make the outer barrel a bit more steady inside the gun. There's a pin on this side, just push it, pull it out, and the whole front end of the gun will just slide off really nice and neat. Because of the buffer tube, I can't screw that in, unfortunately, so it's just kind of held in with retention. So this is where I keep the battery. It's up inside here. You'll notice I've got a tiny mini Dean's connector on there, and the battery itself is actually a Turnigy Nano. It's a 1300 milliamp 25C 7.4 volt battery, and the rate of fire on it, I'll give you a test now. It's pretty decent. I kind of like that rate of fire. I don't like the ridiculous rates of fire, it's just too much. But yeah, it fits nice inside the receiver of the gun along the top of the bolt. It's a bit awkward to get into your hop unit, but I much prefer that to running a peg box and having wires all over the place. But I've also cut off the wrapping around the battery itself, and that just helps it ease itself back into the receiver. So that's pretty much my XCR and how I run it. So if you guys want to check out the review for that, we did it quite a while ago. You can click up on that annotation there, it'll take you straight to that. If you want to see more about the XCR, check out the links in the description below. I'll put links into where you can buy it in the UK, US. I'll try and get some there for kind of European distributors as well. So it's really interesting gun, and I highly, highly recommend it. Really pretty looking gun, kind of SCAR, ACR, M4 blend, just sort of like crammed into one. So really unique way to take down. Actually, one thing worth mentioning as well is, I'll take the battery out. You can actually take the top half of the gearbox off, and you can change out pistons and springs. So not quite quick change spring, but you know, you can get in there much easier than taking a lot of Allen screws out of your gearbox, taking the whole thing down and changing it over. So really cool feature about it. So yeah, all that good stuff, guys. Check us out on Facebook and everything. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll do more kind of tech reviews and things like that in the future. So hit subscribe, like us on Facebook, and we'll see you next time.